Our distinguished guest, he is more than a scholar, he's more than a lecturer, he's more than an activist, he is a legend, a living legend amongst our people. He is one of the elders of the African community. He has given his life to study as well as teaching our people about their great past and the prospects for an even greater future. He is a man whose presentation of history is penetrating and powerful, and he has a way of bringing history alive. And I think that those of you that have heard him before, and those of you that are going to hear him tonight, know that there's no one that is quite able to put history or describe it in quite the way that our lecturer tonight does. It is with great pride and pleasure that I present to you, and I also ask that you receive with as warm a reception as you can receive.
This is SAF Money in prison, and I'm gonna give it to you, though. Or I ain't gonna give it to you, though. I'm the STS on GP. You feel me?
White MFers.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says, because it's America and you should be able to do and say what the fuck you want. God bless America.
A man who was accepted as a god in Europe long before the birth of Christ, accepted quite a few Africans as deities. Imhotep, this great African who was the world's first multi-genius.
This is SAF Moya, prison lawyer. I want to welcome you to the Grill Prig. Thank you, doctor, for that introduction. I couldn't have said it any better myself. And this is SAF Moya, prison lawyer. This is SAF Moya, prison lawyer. This is SAF Moya, prison lawyer. And your Grill Pig. You feel me? You feel me? You dig? This episode is, what does the Charleston White architect have to do with understanding a loss is a win? What are you talking about? It's going to take a lot of building, because this is one grill pit to eventually an understanding of truly what's going on. There's a couple of episodes that's coming up that has a lot of detail with them. And in order for you to understand those episodes and where we're going, you have to first understand what the opponent is doing when certain things happen. So I started off this episode. First, I like to explain to the reasoning behind the episodes that had Charleston White reactions. Initially, I was attempting to try to dispel the lies or misguidings that Charleston White was putting out. That was the whole purpose. It wasn't to give him any type of or bandwagon or anything like that. It was just like, this dude is wrong at what he's saying. It makes no sense. Why are people listening to him? Since those episodes, I had a conversation behind the scenes with my co-host Ron B in the middle. Does a lot, that does a little. That's what the middle does. With his conversation, he wanted to continue to talk about Charleston White. I declined to do any further reactions about Charleston White because I believe there's nothing he says that is right. My co-host Ron B in the middle does a little. That's what the middle does. He believes the opposite, or rather that at some particular point or some particular time, Charleston White makes a point. At a particular time, I had to say, before I analyzed this individual, I felt some type of way. You can go back in the prior episodes and see me making a point or agreeing with him in some points. And I felt too that he, just like Ron B, I was given the benefit of the doubt. I didn't spend any time with him. I just thought that he was making his point. He had a point to be made. But since then, however, after understanding who he is, what he is, his movement, his modus operandus, I decided there's nothing in him that is right. His whole purpose is to cause confusion, and in itself is a problem. So that's the reason why this is so important. It's understanding confusion. What is confusion? Why is confusion such a necessary tactic, especially in our community? It's a diversion. It's a diversion it diverts you from understanding anything because you're too busy wasting your time in nonsense. It distracts. It's a distraction. So if I bring a principle to you like a win is a win and a loss is a win, it's difficult for you to understand that concept when you're dealing with confusion, because to understand a win is a loss and a loss is a win, you must not be dealing with confusions, other things that make no sense, minutia. What do you mean, SF? No. I mean gossip. I mean things that are not supported. I mean just saying something for the purpose of saying something. Wasting time. Time is very valuable. When you're wasting on irrelevant things and being confused, you can never move to a higher thought of understanding. Now, first and foremost, it might seem off the bat nothing makes sense. Why are you saying win, loss, win? And what does that have to do with Charleston, the buffoon, right? It seems like the conversation is going the wrong way fast. Well, first and foremost, think of it like this. When you first were seated in kindergarten and fertilized with knowledge, we were given games, giving this rudimentary thought process. We learned opposites, black, white. We learned good, bad, negative, positive. We learned up, down. We learned these concepts, and these concepts helped us navigate the world. We also was given win-loss. Win-loss. You understood that. You understand how, even as a child, what a loss meant. As we grew older, we understood that we didn't want to lose. We understand we didn't want to be negative for the most part, or be associated with something negative, because negative was bad, but we also understood we didn't want to be black. As crucial as that sound, at the end of the day, that's what that rudimentary understanding gave us, that binary understanding, good, bad, white, black. It's not just the kindergarten that did it, it was everything you were supposed to. As we matured and gravitated, it became a competitive. We always wanted to win in life. We always wanted to win in education. We always wanted to win in sports. And that was an affirmation in life. So it made sense. Wins, as in our minds, the only outcome. So we did not lose. We took it hard, even though a loss is a natural outcome of a win. So we just been programmed. And the community reacted to this in the same way. So it gave us this understanding that somehow that so you were in a sporting event and you lose, and you had a community come in, the coach come in, your girl come in, you come in, your teammates come in, and everybody acting as though this loss was inevitable. We shouldn't have lost, and we took it all hard, and it seemed like there was no rebound because we thought about life, and our whole life was set around this loss, right? Whether we're going to continue sports, whether we're going to consider any relationships, or whether I'm going to even associate myself with these individuals because they're losers. And this was an acceptable reaction. You know, towns, movies, everything has been, friendships have been formulated on whether you win or you lose. But my question to you is, why isn't a loss an end to a win? It's not a revolutionary thought process. Why isn't a loss a strategy? I use that word strategy. So as you move through your life, why have you never evolved the thought process to realize that perhaps you lose to win? I say, what are you talking about? How does this even make sense? How do you make sense when it only makes sense when you look at it through life? You look at life as a game. You look at then you look at that game as confusion being a diversion for you being successful in that game. Confusion being a diversion. So confusion takes a person away from its task so that individual's going to be successful. So if we're constantly dealing with drama and confusion, how life looks nowadays, everyone wants drama and confusion. And if it's not drama, it's not living. And then with that, you can never truly understand a win or a win and a loss is a win. This gets you stuck in the binary understanding of life where you are up and down, bipolar. You are desperately trying to achieve all wins. Everything must be a win. Nothing can be a loss. And when you suffer a loss, you're tragically under the weather. You win, then you lose. You spend so much time trying to recover from this loss because it's unexpected. I never thought I was going to lose. I always thought I was going to win. In fact, my whole plan was based on when this happened, I was going to be right here. But it didn't happen. So now I'm depressed. I'm upset. So by the time you're able to get back to being in the game, you done lost valuable time because you've been dwelling over a loss that was that was going to happen eventually. And it was more likely to happen than not, but you were unprepared. So is the fact that you're unprepared for the loss when structurally, you know what I'm saying? Again, when you are not structurally sound to accept the loss as a win, when it actually occurs, it takes you down for such a long period of time. When you're back in the game, you lost valuable time. And I had to say that again because a loss is just common sense. So you're out of your goddamn mind when you believe that you're not going to lose at something and you're not prepared for it. So what I'm telling you, you should plan as much for a win as you plan for a loss. When I say plan, don't mean planning to lose. Don't get me wrong. Let me say, when I say plan, I don't mean planning to lose. You're not planning to lose. So let me break that down and backstrap because it seems like I'm double talking, right? I'm being like them, double talking. I'm not double talking. When I say plan to lose, planning is a retro. It's retro. And it's proactive, retroactive, proactive, retroactive. So which one are you using? I'm saying when you plan to lose, that's proactive. I'm planning to lose. Not planning to throw the game, but planning to say, I'm just going to lose this game. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you lose, then you have a plan. So accepting the fact that the loss might happen, and it might be a strategic loss. It might be a loss where you want to go 50% opposed to 100% because you want to gauge what the competition has to offer. You want to see them at their best. They don't know you're going half speed. They think they're winning. So you're seeing what they have. You know what I'm saying? It's a tactic opposed to it being a loss, right? It gives you an opportunity to see your competition at their best. And you can gain knowledge from that. So that's what I mean by a proactive loss or reactive loss. You know what I'm saying? And the loss itself is going to occur. You might also believe that this might have to occur just to get get you to understand what's going on around you, right? So you can come back to reality. You know what I'm saying? Boom, I'm gonna get this out of my system so I can move on. But it's tactically and strategically planned, right? It's not just happened. It didn't happen. You didn't expect it. It's not unexpected. It's something that you've planned for, not planned to happen, but you understand that it could happen. Now you can come and say, we're going to do this, and we're going to be back on track. Boom, right away. Again, the view of a loss is from a strategic recovery aspect, the same way you strategize to win We suffer losses when it gives us the opportunity to win. This concept is not an innovation. It's a mindset we use when we're playing a game of chess. It's called strategy, right? Pushing pawns, letting the opponent take a pawn to ensure a win. They might take a queen, they might take a rook, whatever you allow them to take, but the whole purpose, the ultimate goal is to check the king, no matter what. No matter what. So, with that being said, when suffering a loss, when losing pieces, it's not a loss. In chess, you're losing pieces. The loss is a loss of a piece, but the piece serves as better good. It's a sacrificial piece so you can move closer to your ultimate goal. Understand the game, you suffer the loss of a piece for the ability to move closer to the opponent, the king, so you can eventually checkmate the king. This is important because you'll never be able to understand the concept if you're just if you're dealing with confusion. You'll never be able to gravitate to this stuff. Okay, why does any of this make sense? Why is a win, loss, win, Charleston White? What are you talking about? And the whole thing about chess and understanding. The first thing that chess is giving you understanding of the concept. So if you learn how to play chess, you're not just pushing pieces. You understand right away that you're going to sacrifice certain pieces in order to get closer in to, because it's all a tactic, it's all a strategy, it's an opening move, and these are moves that you're making. So you're not, when you lose a rook or you lose a bishop or you lose your queen, it's not because it was unsacrificial. You're taking 3 pieces off to get that lane open so you can get to that king. It opens you up. Okay, it's with a reason, and that's all we're saying. The reason these pieces are so important and must be understood is because while we are in constant confusion, not understanding what progress looks like. Now, this is the overall thought process, right? So when you don't understand what progress looks like, when you don't understand what equality looks like, when you don't understand what justice looks like, when you don't understand these aspects or what momentum looks like, because of confusion. Because as soon as someone says, oh, we achieved this, you have no higher level of thought because you dispel so much energy and negativity and confusion, or believing in confusion, or dealing with drama, or listen to this fool talks about this foolishness. You really can't understand. It looks like it is. They said it is. It must be. Who would lie to me? But you never really evaluated it. So you don't know. You don't know what BS. This is just BS. You never moved anywhere. They just told you and you believed it. Because we have lost sight of the end game. Because again, I'm saying it's hard to focus in on the end game when you're spending so much energy worrying about drama, and the vision is the person in front of you or the individuals who's saying, or you're looking for something to edify your soul that's garbage because you want to feel good about yourself based on somebody else's loss. You don't understand what the end game is. What am I saying? There's nothing being hidden from you. There's nothing. They don't really have to hide anything from you. Because we started off initially with the conversation being about distractions and confusion. And initially came out trying to dispel that. But it's difficult to dispel it when people don't understand what's going on. They believe, again, as my co-host believes, that somehow there's a point being made. When there's no point to be made, all it is for you to formulate a conversation based on something that's been said that's opposite of what makes sense. Somehow that makes sense. It's nonsense. Always equates to nonsense. So we're too busy worrying about those things that make no sense. You know? And I told you, they don't hide anything from you. Think about it like this. As a kid, I grew up watching the Jetsons. I still watch the Jetsons today. Because it wows me. I don't know, I could argue all day long about how everything in the Jetsons came to fruition. Not everything, but a lot of stuff. And it's just wow, like anything in a cartoon watching as a kid now is reality today, and our current reality is a reality. And why is that? Did they know what the future looked like, or did they conceptualize what they wanted their future to look like? I don't know. I'm just saying. It just, to me, is it's not looking back at it. It's like, wow. It's like, I mean, come on. I mean, oddly, the Jetsons are similar to what's going on with us now, from treadmills to networking computers to network of computers to flat screen TVs to being able to talk to a person on a TV, flying cars, robots cleaning your house, to automation, one individual doing a job of many, with just no money. Fuck they knew about that. I mean, and the craziest thing about the Jetsons is the fact there's no black folks there. There's not one black person in Jetsons. There's not one homeless person in the Jetsons. Not one person that's not financially stable in the Jetsons. So is this the future, or is this the vision of the future? No matter how it is, there's not a black person. Now, I don't know. Maybe the cartoon person, the artist who ran out of black. Maybe he did. I mean, come on, give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe in the Jetsons, the backstory is, the exposition of the story is the black folks didn't wake up. They was on CP time, forgot to get up when the ships was leaving. I don't know. Maybe the white folks didn't tell the black folks we about to go up, and left all the black folks there. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we know that the Charleston white archetype does not exist in our future, so he's not even there. And that's the funniest of all. I mean, it's the trick of all tricks, right? So have us arguing amongst themselves while they go up and go where they're going, do what they're doing, whatever that might be. And the conversation not missed, that all these conversations that deals with anything talks about space exploration. And so, not to go too far into that, only understanding what the end goal looks like. Okay, and so the win-loss-win is a concept that can be elevated to when you're dealing with confusion. So to deal with the Charleston White and have him flushed into our community and have to actually deal with him is a waste of our time. That's what I want to get out. The next thing is about this concept that I threw out, this end goal, this new city, this new elevation of the cities. In college, I understand it to be the sustainable. They talk all about sustainable cities that's coming to fruition. But how does a sustainable city exist, and how does it look? A lot of times in these sustainable cities, we talk about the removal of the homeless. A lot of times when we talk about redevelopment of the sustainable cities, we talk about going into urban areas that is impoverished or have a high criminal level, and remove that because people are moving out, buy up these homes, redevelop it, buy it up, redevelop it, push out the homeless, push out the underprivileged, people who can't afford it, build up these high rises now you can't afford anyway, and create a city. That's their city. The reason I point to this is because places like Target has already started what they've called, and it started out in 2003. So this is old shit. I mean, this is old shit. So and that's why a win is a win, and a loss is a win. So as you move around, you see all this stuff going on with these progress. You gotta understand what the end result is. Is Minneapolis has a safe zone collaborative. Now, who's in this collaborative? Target. Target's in bed with this. So all these other businesses in to make this safe area. How does safe look? Safe looks like the Jetsons. Safe looks like there's no black folks around. There's no homeless. You don't have to worry about people robbing you, stealing from you, or anything like that, because you're in a safe zone. Sounds good. So back in 2003, Target in a 40-block radius. They started with about 45 cameras. Now it's up where it's into the thousands. Let's clarify that. Now the 40 cameras that they utilize went from 40 to about 100, and we're talking about TV. These are closed circuit cameras that are accessible to Leo. Okay, and now we're talking about 1,000 cameras. Now we're talking about all these different cameras that people might have access to. You know, whether it's your cell phone, whether it might be this, it might be that. We're not even going to cell phones. We're just going to cameras. Businesses have cameras on them that you can see certain things. All right. Now, why is this so important? Because Target's in bed with Leo. Target's in bed with this new concept city. And the whole reason, the first thing about the safe zone was to remove all the homeless from these cities. That was the first thing. Or even further with this, and if you listen to my last episode that dealt with Marvin Haynes, we talked about problem-orientated policing, identifying with the problems. Who are the problems in these cities, and let's get them out. That TV does that. So we're talking about facial recognition on these TVs. We're talking about beyond facial recognition. We're just talking about the ability to monitor where you're going or what you're doing on a regular basis. Once inside the house, outside the house. Big thing. So I've always said boycott Target. I'll say it again, boycott Target. And I'll say it again, boycott Target. You're in a grill. I say boycott Target. And people are like, won't work for Target, won't work for Target. You understand that Target does not hire felons. And it wasn't by accident that they came up with not hiring felons. They have a reason by not hiring felons, but they're everywhere. People go into all these Targets, Bush, BS, and there's no reason for it. The other thing I want to hit you with is that how are they, when they do correct this city, how are they going to keep the unwanted individuals out of? We want to be politically correct about it. What about this social credit that they're utilizing? I mean, wouldn't that be great to utilize a social credit to keep people, to bar people from coming into the city, or once you come into the city, to restrict your access to certain aspects of the city, because you won't be living in the city, old Charleston White, you know, you won't be there. But this is just the evolution of what they're attempting to do. So the end goal. I mean, I'm not trying to get off. It's just funny because I just believe that right now everything looks sweet, but it's giving you, they're pushing that pawn so you can take that pawn so you think you got to win, but you're missing out on the end game, man. It's an end game. So no, I'm never going to get stuck with talking about this foolish fool and about what he does when there's so much more out there that we're missing as a people, as a community. This makes me believe that the evolution of the city would not include certain individuals. That's why this concept I'm bringing is so important. This is why the conversation on individuals such as Charleston White is nothing but a waste of time. So to even think about this conversation is a waste of time. I'm never ever going to say what he's doing. I'm not the judge. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. But you gotta understand the reason behind what he's doing and why he's doing what he's doing. This is important because we can never elevate to a conscious level where we can understand what's going on if we continue to follow the garbage that he's talking about. And like I said, if you don't believe what I'm saying about Target and the safe city and all this new stuff that's going on, these sustainable cities, and how they're building out, pushing people out. It's people that everybody knows it's happening. We just haven't failing to connect the dots to see it as an overall goal. Is that there's something coming up or going on that does not include certain individuals. That's why automation, this new Taco Bell, it's been hailed as great innovation. But if you watch that new Taco Bell, it's a lot less to do with individuals making food, and it's more to do with automation. So keep in mind, man, like I say, ask yourself too. Ask yourself a question. Why is the Charleston White talking about Brittany Griner? Why is he not talking about the January 6th? Why is he not talking about criminal justice? I mean, all that stuff is like real thick, real complicated, thick stuff that people don't want to see, people don't want to talk about. But if you have a platform, maybe I'm putting too much on this dude. Maybe he can't talk about those things. But I'm just saying, like, but why aren't we talking about those things? Because not for anything but to elevate thought to the process of maybe we realize what the fuck's going on, and maybe we can stop it, or maybe prepare ourselves, maybe train ourselves, maybe know something more than how to TikTok dance, not have a trade, be able to turn dirty water to clean water, maybe understand how to shoot a gun, maybe how to build a gun. Maybe not gun might not be important anymore because they got things that stop guns from actually working. You know what I'm saying? And they're on to something else totally different. I don't know. This is SAF More, your prison lawyer. I just want to give you something to, crunch down and think about. I'm going to smoke my cigar, do what I do. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to clarify some things real quick, fast, in a hurry. Check out this episode on MDID that's coming out. I'm dropping that. We're trying to get the community involved. It's taking me a little bit longer than I expected on this episode. But free Marty Ali, free Marvin Haynes, free my man Derek Jordan. What's up? All my guys, Carlos, Southside, Harry Mo. What's up, Harry Mo? What's up to all the orgs out there showing us love, everybody. Appreciate you. Appreciate the invitations y'all sending out to us. Appreciate the love. Shout out to Angela Jackson, giving us a call. I got an update coming up from her. She's going to court. She's got a lawyer. She's about to bring down the DOC. It's crazy by me just saying that. It's just like the fact of the matter is she's gonna shine so much light on her case, and I'm getting constant information about that. The CEO that supposedly had violated policy. And that's going to come up on the next episode. We're going to keep giving this to you. We're going to keep doing this. They're trying to shut us down. They don't want to give us views. They don't want people subscribing to us. They don't want people watching this. They don't want people watching all that crazy stuff. And listen, like I said, when I first got started with this, they don't have to pay me nothing. I don't care. One motherfucker watch this. One bro watch this. One individual watch this. It's all I need, man. It's all I need. That one individual watching us, following us, and understanding what we're trying to bring, and respecting that. And then in turn, each one teach one. This is SAF Mo, a prison lawyer. Justice for Marvin. Justice for Marvin Haynes. Justice for Derek Jordan. Justice for my man Harry Mo. Justice for Southside. Justice for Mr. Issa. Jamil Issa. Man, I know all these, justice. Peace. This is SAF Mo, your prison lawyer. And I'm going to give it to you raw. Or I ain't going to give it to you at all. On IGSTS. On GP. You feel me?